Your dog sleeps next to you every single night. You probably think it's just comfort, a warm spot, a soft bed. But here's what most people miss. Your dog isn't choosing the bed, they're choosing you. And that means something much deeper than most owners ever realize. That's one of the signs your dog has imprinted on you for life. And most people miss number 4 on this list. 1. 5 weeks decided everything. You probably remember the day you brought your dog home. Maybe they were 8 weeks old, maybe 10. Tiny, clumsy, ears too big for their head, tripping over their own feet in your hallway for the first time. What you probably didn't know is that something was happening during those weeks that would shape the rest of your relationship. Between about 7 and 12 weeks old, a puppy goes through what scientists describe as a wet cement phase. Everything is soft. Everything is being written. Who is safe? Who is family? Who this dog will build its entire emotional world around. By 16 weeks, that cement starts to harden. Whatever got pressed into it stays. If your puppy came home during that stretch, you didn't just adopt them. You were written into the foundation of how they understand the world. And here's what makes that even heavier. A fear window is running at the same time, between 8 and 11 weeks. One bad experience during that period can create a lifelong phobia. So the same brain learning to trust you was also learning what to be afraid of. The fact that you ended up on the trust side means something went exactly right in those early days. Something that got locked in and never let go. But what about dogs who came home later? What if you rescued yours at 2 or 5 or 8 years old? Hold that question, because when we come back to it at the end, it's the one that hits hardest. 2. They mirror your pain. This one makes people go quiet, because most owners have never heard of it. If you've ever been hurt, had a bad knee, limped after a fall, or just moved differently because something ached, your dog may have started doing the exact same thing. Not because anything was wrong with them, because they were watching you so closely that their body started echoing yours. There are documented cases of dogs developing what's called a phantom limp, completely healthy, nothing physically wrong. They watched their person favor one leg and started matching it. Nobody asked them to. Nobody trained it. They saw you hurting and responded the only way they knew how. We've all caught ourselves copying someone's posture during a deep conversation without realizing we were doing it. Your dog does that with your pain. They can't ask what happened. They can't bring you ice or tell you to sit down. So they walk the way you walk, because that's the closest thing they have to saying, "I noticed, and I'm right here with you." If that one surprised you, wait, because the next one is hiding in something your dog does every single day. 3. Your dirty laundry is their favorite place in the house. You've come home to this. Your hoodie dragged off the back of a chair. Your socks missing from the hamper. That one t-shirt you wore all weekend somehow ended up right where your dog sleeps. You probably thought they were being naughty, but here's what was actually going on. A dog's nose is roughly 40 times more sensitive than yours, and to an imprinted dog, your scent is more than familiar. A neuroscientist trained dogs to lie perfectly still inside a brain scanner, then presented each one with 5 different scents. Out of all 5, the owners triggered the strongest reward response. Not food, not other dogs, just your smell on a piece of cloth was enough to light up the part of their brain that says, "This is my favorite thing in the world." So when you leave the house and your dog buries themselves in your worn hoodie, they're not misbehaving. They're wrapping themselves in the one thing that makes their nervous system calm down. It's the canine version of hugging a pillow that smells like someone you miss. Most of us have come home, seen the sock on the dog bed and said, "Really?" Meanwhile, they were just trying to feel close to you. Once you know that, it's hard to be annoyed about a sock ever again. 4. They only truly rest when you're in the room. Your dog probably sleeps 12, 13, 14 hours a day, and you probably figure they sleep the same whether you're home or not. That's not what happened when researchers actually tested it. Scientists attached sleep monitors to dogs and tracked their brainwaves across multiple nights. Some nights the owner stayed in the room. Other nights the dog was alone. Same bed, same conditions. The only thing that changed was whether their person was nearby. The dogs slept worse without their owner. Deep sleep shortened, restlessness went up. One person being absent changed the entire way their body moved through sleep. Think about who in your life makes you sleep better just by being in the room. That list is probably very short. Your dog has the same kind of list, and you're the only name on it. So when your dog abandons their perfectly good bed and climbs onto yours, they're not being clingy. They're choosing the only spot where their body fully lets go. And here's the part that still surprises researchers. When dogs and their owners rest near each other, their heart rates can actually start to sync. Two completely different species falling into the same rhythm in the quiet. Nobody trained that. It just happens. If you're learning something new about your dog right now, subscribe. It helps us reach more people who actually want to understand what their dog is telling them. And what comes next is the one you'll start noticing everywhere. 5. They look to you first. This is really two behaviors that come from the same place. The first one happens when something unfamiliar shows up. A box by the front door, a suitcase in the hallway, a person they haven't met. Before your dog reacts to the thing, they look at you. Your face, your posture, your energy. If you seem fine, they relax. If you tense up, they tense up. Researchers found that dogs overwhelmingly check their owner's expression before responding to anything new. When they ran the same test with a stranger's face, the dogs barely reacted. Your expression is the only one that matters to them. The second one happens around people. You're talking to someone your dog doesn't know, and without a cue, without a command, they move. They step between you and the stranger. Maybe they sit on your feet. Maybe they lean into your legs. Maybe they just stand slightly in front of you, facing outward. They know they're 40 pounds. They couldn't stop anything. But something in them says, this human is mine to keep safe. And every single time, without being asked, they show up for it. A 60-pound lab checking your face to decide if a cardboard box is dangerous, then positioning themselves between you and the delivery driver. That's not random behavior. That's a dog whose entire sense of safety starts and ends with you. Your dog is running a full security detail, and you're over there scrolling through your phone. One of you is clearly more invested in this operation. 6. Their eyes say everything they can't, because it changes how you look at your dog for the rest of the day. You're sitting somewhere doing nothing in particular, and you feel it. You look up. Your dog is across the room, just watching you. Not begging, not asking for anything, just looking at you with soft, relaxed eyes. And for some reason, neither of you looks away. In the dog world, direct eye contact is a confrontation. Everything in their instinct says break the gaze. With you, they hold it, they choose it, and when they do, both of you get a quiet hit of the same bonding chemistry that connects a parent to their child. The longer they hold it, the stronger the loop gets. But they don't just use their eyes to bond with you. They use them to talk to you. Your dog walks up carrying something in their mouth. They drop it at your feet. You've probably thrown the toy or just said, "What is that?" and moved on. But that sequence was a sentence. They look at you to check if you're paying attention. They look at the object to direct yours. They look back to see if you understood, and if you didn't respond, they'll try again. Nudge it closer, adjust their approach, repeat the look. Your dog figured out how to build full sentences out of nothing but eye contact and movement, because words were never going to work for them, and they found a way anyway. Next time your dog locks eyes with you from across the room, hold it. Don't look away first. And next time they drop something at your feet and do that look, pay attention. They're not playing, they're speaking. And they've been doing it every single day, probably since the week they came home. 7. They chose you without a window. Now, this is the one. And if you rescued your dog, this is yours. Everything I said about the critical period, the wet cement, the first few weeks of life, that's real. Puppies who bond during those weeks carry that foundation forever. But dogs are one of the very few species on this planet that can form a brand new primary bond well into adulthood. The window closes, but the door never locks. A rescue dog who bonds with you at 3 or 5 or 8 years old isn't forming something lesser, because that dog has a frame of reference. They know what it felt like before you showed up, and then they found you. Maybe you've been through it yourself. You brought a dog home, and for the first few weeks they barely looked at you. They ate, but not much. They slept, but always in the corner, always curled tight. You started wondering if they'd ever come around. And then one day, on a walk, or on the couch, or just sitting on the kitchen floor doing nothing at all, they moved closer. Maybe they leaned into your hand for the first time. Maybe they put their head on your knee and just stayed there. Not loud, not dramatic, just a quiet moment where something inside them decided, okay, this one is safe. And from that point on, they never left your side. If your rescue dog chose you, they chose you with every reason not to.